Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and here on my channel we're all about real makeup for real life and real people, whether that means making color easy and accessible for the everyday Joe or Joette, or just having fun with makeup together, figuring things out along the way. That is what you can expect here on my journey in beauty. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave if you like what you see today. And today's video is my Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me. If you are not familiar with this series, I shop my stash usually the first day or within the first couple days of the month. And then I like to do a get ready with me using some of those products, showing you the products in action and just chatting a little. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm a chatty girl and I'm slow at putting on makeup, so we better get started. And today I'm not going to wear any foundation or the foundation that I shop my stash for. I have to go shovel a boatload of snow, 11 inches to be exact, after I film these videos. So I'm just going to jump right into concealer. If you haven't watched my Shop My Stash video where I shared the products that I shopped for yet, I'm using the Tarte Hydrocealer. It's just a little deluxe sample size that I got as a promo from Sephora, but I just thought maybe I could use this up this month, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's a decent concealer in my mind, not something I would buy the full size of, I don't think, but it's still a nice concealer. And I would just kind of like to move it out of my collection. I feel like this concealer really didn't get very good reviews. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's just because it's Tarte. I don't know if that's because it's more of a light coverage concealer, which I personally don't mind, at least some of the time, and especially on days like today where I'm not going to apply any foundation. I think this looks more natural versus going in with a full coverage concealer and just a couple of places. For powder, we're going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. Mine comes in the shade Light Pink. Going to just put a little bit of this on my little ring dish that I always use, and I'm going to pick a tiny bit up on my brush hair. And I have not tried this for setting under the eye yet. I know a lot of people have talked about liking it, so I'm going to try that today since I don't have a ton of setting to do otherwise. Let's see how it looks. I mean, it looks like a powder under my eye. That's why I don't typically apply powder under my eyes, but for the sake of consistency, we'll do both. And then I'll also set a little bit where else we added concealer. I do like this powder so far, however, and I'm excited to try it with more things and more different ways this month. And this is definitely not like a, I mean, it's kind of a glowy powder, but not like a loose highlighter kind of glow. For bronzer, I chose one that I have not used for an absolute eon. This is the Jouer Sunswept Bronzer Duo, and this is in the medium to deep shade. I never did end up pulling this one out this summer, I don't think. Maybe once, but not with any regularity. And so I definitely wanted to pull this one out today, especially as I was thinking about bronzers for the bronzer collection tag started by Samantha March. I will link hers and my video down in the description box for you in case you missed them. This bronzer did not make it into that video, but it was one that when I was going through my bronzers, I was like, ooh, I missed that one. And it does have, you know, the two different ones. I'm dipping into the lighter one today, which is Sun Kissed, but it also has the deeper one, which is Sunset. But it has beautiful sheen on the skin. Maybe I'll take a little of the deeper shade up here by the hairline. I always seem to have trouble getting this area as deep as I would like it. So, and I think the only reason that I haven't reached for this bronzer over this last warm months is just because I had such an influx of bronzers this year in 2020. 2020 has been the year of the bronzer and the cream products for me. I'm curious though if you guys tend to wear less bronzer during the winter months, or do you bronze more because you have no color to your skin or not as much color to your skin? I'm curious about that because part of me is like, uh-oh, do I have to stop bronzing as much soon because it's gonna be winter? And then for highlighter, the one I chose out of the two that I pulled is the Makeup Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in the shade Just My Type. This is not new, but I haven't gotten as much chance to use this as I would have liked because of moving, and I chose to just keep one highlighter out during the move. I felt like anything more than that would have been excessive for me and for the amount of time that I felt, you know, that I felt like I was going to have time to use highlighter, I guess. I don't know if I'm speaking in complete sentences, but this is, you know, semi-newer to my collection. This was a recommendation that I kind of toyed with for a long time from Taylor Wynn here on YouTube. It's one of her favorites, and it just looks so pretty. And it is really pretty, though I do think it might emphasize texture on my skin a little bit, but I'm gonna tap over this with a sponge after I apply it. So I'm just taking my dampened sponge and just pressing this highlighter into my skin as much as I can, and also, you know, hopefully picking up any excess, and I do think that that looks better. For a face palette, I did pull my Benefit blush bar. This was a gift from hubby, and I just love this palette. I almost feel like I want to use California. I think it's pretty for fall. Let's start with that, and then if I feel like I need to like tone it back or anything like that, I can use one of the other shades, but it is the shade that I probably reach for, probably reach for the least, even though I feel like coral blush is one of the more flattering tones to my skin tone. So I'm going to try and make good use of it this month. Yeah, that's pretty. I just have not used this palette as much as I thought I would, and not because I don't like it, just because I have so much. So that's one of the great things about Shop Mustache. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna pop off of here and do my brows and prime the eyelids because next is eyeshadow. All right, we're back. I have brows on and I primed my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. And I think the eyeshadow palette I want to use today, because I'm wearing green as almost always, is the You Can Be Magic Spell palette. And if I can find it to link it, I will. I was having a little trouble in the past finding it again, but I'm going to do my best to find it for you. So I think I'll go ahead and start things off in the crease with the shade Bewitchment and my Big Fluffy. I've really only used this palette a handful of times, so I'm very excited to play with it some more this month. I think the next shade I want to go into is this brown on top called Invisible. And I'm going to use this more pinched fluffy brush here and start by putting this on the outer third or so of the lid. And this is mostly to give something for darker shades to blend over, as well as to get more of the bulk of the pigment off and then blend up into the crease once I have less pigment. And this is kind of fun for me today because I really don't have a plan as to what I'm doing with my eyes here, other than, you know, I'm wearing green, so there might be a green involved. You never know. There's a few of them in here. And I'm wearing green, so why not? And I'm going to take that same shade on more of a short smudger brush and smudge some of this on the lower lash line here. I'm trying to keep it a little lighter on my lower lash line lately, especially when using quite a bit darker shades for fall. I just feel like it just makes me look older. That's all there is to it. And it kind of drags down my eyes, which is, you know, not something that I'm interested in. All right, I think for the outer part of the lid, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Dimension. It's a little bit of a brown and green duochrome, but I just think it will be pretty and it will be my depth. And I'm using my sort of fluffy flat brush. I call it my teddy bear brush because it's that soft. This is from Beauty Junkies. It's their Pro All Over Shader brush, and it is definitely a pro. And also kind of run this up into the outer part of the crease a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with this shade right here, which is Incantation, for the inner part of the lid, and go from there with the same teddy bear brush. Now that is a smooth shade. There's definitely quite a few different textures and formulas in this palette, which I don't mind at all, but this is definitely more of a smooth, kind of satiny formula. All right, I think just to bring a little bit more green into the look, I'm gonna go in with this matte green called ESP and pick it up on the tip of this flat brush. And I'm just gonna work on sort of adding that to the upper lash line and the outer corner a little bit. And I will also bring that green a little bit on the lower lash line. One last little something something. I'm gonna go back into the highlighter that we used today and do a little inner corner highlight, maybe a brow bone, we'll see. All right, wow, that is brightening. All right, I'm just gonna take what's left on the brush, if anything, for under the brow arch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop off of here and finish off the eyes. I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild brown eyeliner and my Milk Kush mascara, and I will be right back. We'll finish off with some lips. Maybe the hair will look different. You never know. All right, I don't know that I would say the hair is better. Ooh. But it is not in the drying situation anymore. So let's go ahead and do some lips. I don't feel very blushy, but we'll see how I feel once we get a lip on. I'm gonna start off by lining my lips with you know what, the MAC lip liner in Whirl. I really need to sharpen that puppy. Okay, next is a NARS lipstick that I hardly ever use, but I really like the color. It's in the shade Tolade. I don't know. I don't know what it says. I'll put it on the screen. And it looks like this. It's a really pretty nudie color. And I love this formula. Mini lipsticks are always such a hassle to put on. I'm going to, what did I do? I'm gonna blot that down a little. And I like to do that just to sort of press things into the lips and cause the lipstick to sort of sink into the fine lines and fill them in versus accentuating them. And then I have the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee, and I just like this for like a little highlighty gloss situation. Not quite as highlighting as my Rimmel Stay Glossy in Blushing Belgraves, but still a beautiful gloss nonetheless. Cheeks. I just don't feel happy with my cheek. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a little bit of Dandelion here and just sort of pink up the cheeks a little bit. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of today's look? The eyeshadow look, not my favorite eyeshadow look that I've ever created, but you know, I'm really looking forward to playing with these palettes this month and just getting to know them that much better. I almost used my Beauty Junkies little custom neutral palette that I created from my singles today, but I didn't. So if you would like to see a video concerning this, let me know down below as well. Let me know also what is in your shop, your stash for the month. Does that make sense? What's in your shop, your stash for the month? Let me know. I'm always curious. I love to hear what other people are pulling from their collections to get more use out of. And thank you so much for watching today. If you like Shop My Stash videos, I would love for you to give this one a thumbs up. I'll have the playlist linked down below in case you want to binge more of my videos like this. It has been a while, but they're still good videos to watch. And I would also love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out here on the platform. And I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful. Shop My Stash makeup days. And I will see you in my next one real soon.